Ooh, it's kind of smoky down here. Ah! Oh no! My fire has done it again. It has done it again. That chimney. Ooh. Howdy folks, welcome. Welcome. Yeah, I think we're just gonna leave that. I'm not gonna bother with that fire. It's actually warmed up. Yes, today is, let me just open the door. Why don't we do that? Let some of that smoke out. Yes. Whoa, that's better. Yes, so let me just yeah, welcome everybody. It is the 5th of oh, hang on a sec, I've got to screw this in the bottom of my camera here. Yeah, today's the 5th of December, and it was cold this morning, but it's fortunately it's warmed up enough so I can open the door now. It's coming up for 2 o'clock, I think. Yeah, welcome. Maybe I'll shut the door a touch. I don't know, the camera doesn't like this light dark business. Doesn't like contrast. There we go. Alright, so yeah, stick the camera over here. Let's quickly do these together. These, ooh, that's a bit contrasty, isn't it? That sunlight. Maybe if I put it over here. Sorry about the camera work, folks. You know how it is. Okay. Alright, there we go. Let's just do these guys. Whoa. Sorry. There you go. So So I've actually been just keeping these under some plastic, and I'm going to, and because I did them a few days ago now, they have gone past that point of, well, I could thumb them, but when they get to a certain point, it's almost as easy just to center them like that. Take your trim tool and just, I'm not talking about doing any real trimming here, I'm just talking about that, that's it. Skimming. We'll call it that, skimming. And so while it's actually face down like that, I'm going to take my seal, put my seal on it. Just be careful if you're doing this, what I'm doing, that you want to make sure that the bowl is not dry, especially around the rim here, because if you put it down on here and give it any downward pressure, it'll likely crack it if it's not seating absolutely perfectly. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Yeah, so these are okay though in that respect. So just tap center like that, and then a little skim here, and then I just break the corner, you see, with the trim tool like that. Let me show you, if I can show you here in this light. But anyway, I put a put a on the corner there. Yeah, sorry, the light is a bit kind of... These digital cameras are not that good at sort of understanding the light sometimes. Yeah. Good. Yeah, these, as I said the other day when I made them, you need to come back to them in the drying process just to make sure. You may need to, you know, redo the pouring lip a little bit, or not redo it, but re-emphasize it, if you know what I mean. Let's put on some more lighting here. So little tap center and then trim tool like that, and then break the corner. Okay. Now, just to mention something, somebody wrote to me recently that they bought a trim tool and they weren't happy because they didn't feel it was really sharp, the actual trim tool, and they, rather than coming back to me about it, they decided to give it a negative review, you see. So I would say to people, you know, if you've got something that you're not happy about, rather than going public with it and telling the whole world, you know, why not just come back to the guy who sold it to you in the first place, you know, because in most cases manufacturers, sellers are more than happy to make sure the customer's happy. And you know, we live in this crazy world now where we've got to go, everything has got to be reviewed, you know, and it can be a little bit misleading sometimes. So just to say, you know, if you buy any of my tools and you're not happy with them, or you feel that they were misrepresented or that they're, you know, then please come back to me about it, and we will try and make you happy. In relation to trim tools though, actually, and having trim tools that are really sharp, it doesn't necessarily mean the sharper it is, the better it's going to cut, just so you know. In fact, my brother Johnny used to say the very exact thing, that, you know, the sharpest trim tools actually don't cut the best necessarily. It's when they've just dulled off a little bit they actually cut better. So this particular trim tool I've been using for some time, and I'll be honest with you, I've never sharpened it once. And if you look at it, you might think, oh, that looks a bit dull there. It doesn't look like it's like got a, you know, like a razor edge. Well, it doesn't actually need to have a razor edge to cut really well. So it's not a logical thinking, and you would think it wouldn't be so. It's also to do with angles, you see. I hadn't planned this video to be talking about this, but while we're talking about it, we might as well. Look, so here's a trim tool. You know, you'll be familiar with this kind of trim tool. Well, you notice the angle is ground on the back of the tool, isn't it? Okay, that's where the angle is. Not on the front of the tool here, but on the back of the tool. Okay, you see the angle there. So these trim tools that I have made, what you notice is they're actually trimmed, they're sharpened on the inside, the front side, not the back side. The back side there's no angles ground, you see. It's only on this side. And I found, my experience with these, they cut better like this. The thing is though, hardly anybody makes trim tools. In fact, I've never seen anybody make any trim tools like these. And you see how it's ground round the corner, right around the corner there, and on the inside, not on the back side. It makes for a better trim tool. It cuts much better, especially when the clay is a little bit on the damp side. It will cut a whole lot better. Trust me. Okay, we continue. Whoa. So you see, doing these, although I'm not actually just thumbing them off, which would have been actually a little quicker, but you know, when you get your tap centering down, you know, and you can, it doesn't take long, does it? Okay. Yeah, just put my maker seal on it. Maybe you don't have a seal. Nothing to be ashamed about either. Yeah, you don't need to have a seal when you're a beginner potter, I don't think. You can later on maybe. And some potters, you know, like Hamada, Shoji Hamada, the Japanese potter, he didn't believe in using a seal. So his pots are not sealed. He used to say, well, the pot itself is the seal of the maker. It should be recognizable as one that has been made by me, he said. Yeah, I guess there's different ways of thinking about that. Now, the way I've thrown these, they should sit on top of each other, you see, like this. Because we made them to a gauge. That's what the gauge will do for you. You see, that's what the gauge will do for you. It will give you a bit of consistency in terms of diameter size. You know, which if you're making sets of things is. I think it's better if they are consistent in that respect. Yep. These are just small little GPs. Small GPs. Yeah, let me stick on another light. Don't know if that will make any difference. I'm going to shut the door a bit actually. That smoke is... Come on. It won't seem to shut. Oh yeah. Down it goes, down it goes. Patience people, patience. Oh. Whoa, Simon, that was like torturous, I know. I know. It's a good job I don't edit my videos, isn't it? Otherwise I'd have so much to edit out. So now, yeah. Don't forget, as you see I'm doing this, you see my posture. So you bridge across, you see, with your thumb, you bridge across, and then with your index finger, I'm keeping the pot down, you see, because it's not attached in any way. Now, imagine if I wanted to do what I'm doing now, and I have to put pieces of clay all around. Oh my gosh, I'll be here till 5 o'clock. You can seal these like I'm sealing like this, or you could leave them down there like that and just push in the seal like that. Yeah. Yeah, we've got tools up there on the website. Anybody wants tools? What was I going to say? I was going to say something about a tool. Yeah, check out the needle tools. I think you'll be fine with the needle tools. They work very well. Most needle tools that you can see out there for sale, commercial ones, the needle part is way too thick, so it becomes a bit of a torture, you know, to use it. Whereas these have got much finer needles, which is what you want, and that enables the needle to enter the clay, the top of the pot, and cut it off without destroying it at the same time. Yeah, because that can happen. Alright, we've got one more to do. Oh yeah, I know what I wanted to say. Yeah, I don't say this on the website. I need to actually put it there, I think, a bit more plainly. These cut-off wires are really great. They really are for wheel head cutting off of pots. Okay, but they're not recommended for cutting and pulling through big blocks of clay on your wedging table. Okay, just so you know that. They're twisted wires. They're nylon, and with offset toggles. One toggle's bigger than the other, so the big toggle, the end here, always goes on the inside of my tray here, and it never falls on the floor, you see. So just wanted to mention that the cut-off wires are for cutting off pots off the wheel head, and the other thing about them is that they are the right length to do that, which is about 11 to 12 inches. Okay, that's the ideal length. Not like, you know, 20 inches. It becomes too long, and then everyone's got to go wind it around your fingers, and that is really not good. All right, they are done. Yeah, so when you've done your border pots and they're complete, you don't put them in a place where they're going to dry very quickly, like on top of a stove, or put them out in the direct sunlight. You don't want to do that. You're really better off just putting them somewhere quietly on a shelf, out of the way, and just let them dry slowly. Okay? They'll be much better for it, because fast dried pots do tend to warp. Uneven drying produces tension and stress in the pot, which you want to avoid. Okay, so those are those guys. Yeah, I'm thinking what I need to get. I've got to get a firing done. I've got to get a firing done. I've got to get a firing done. I don't mean firing the wood stove either. Yeah. Yes, I've got a lot of pots here. You see, waiting, tankards. I've got some teapots, more tankards, tumblers over there. In here, I've got all these bowls which I've had here for, some of them been here for years. It's about time I fired them, isn't it? And yeah, bit of a clear up. I think we need some more tankards over there and tumblers. So, oh, and up here, look, there's a whole load of small ones up here. Oh yeah, I did glaze those. Well, they're glazed on the inside, they've got to be glazed on the outside. Of course, I raw fire, so we've got to be careful how we do that. We do the inside first and then the outside. There was a picture of Grandad here I found. Sort of walking and sketching at the same time. He must have been a multitasker. Either that or he's just sort of like the umbrella here. An old picture of my dad. A faded picture of my dad when he was during the war in the army. That's my dad, David Leach. Yeah. Photos and memories. Got a load of trim throwing sticks here, which I've just put linseed oil on these, so they are just drying there. And then I got a bunch of more of these guys. I've got to put linseed oil on the handles and do these a bunch of cut-off wires here. Yeah, we prepare the toggles, etc. Big ones and then some little ones down there. Yeah, we try and make everything we can, you know, as much as we can. It's nice to be a maker, isn't it? Not just a consumer of stuff, but a maker. Yeah, go to the website. There's some t-shirts there, as I told you. T-shirts, and yeah, and I've got to get some more pots up. That's going to come really after the firing, I guess. So that's it, really. That's it for today, other than to say, keep practicing as usual. And remember that progress, if you think progress is slow, yes, it just depends on how much you put into it, you see. The more you practice, the more you're going to build muscle memory in your fingers and your arms when you're throwing. And the more muscle memory you've got, the better you will be. The easier it will be when you come to get down to doing some wedging or kneading, you know, on the kneading bench. It'll come to you much easier if you've practiced it and done it. You know, the more the better. So yeah, practice with pottery is like practice with guitar. You know, there's no substitute for it. Okay, that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you later. Take care, my friends. Bye bye.